So, if Chris Watts didn't kill his girls, why did he confess to it? I have a bunch of answers. Answer number 1, because he killed everyone. If that's the only answer you're looking for, then you can go click away and watch something else. But if you want to know about the other 12 possible reasons, then keep watching. Reason number 2, because he became convinced that his own recollection was wrong. Number 3, because the trial is scary and he's an extremely agreeable person who can easily be talked into avoiding conflict. And a trial has a lot of conflict. Next reason, to protect Shanann's name and her reputation. Next reason, to escape the torture of prolonged solitary confinement. He was in county jail completely alone, didn't see any other prisoners for weeks and weeks and weeks on end. That's torture. Next reason, because he wanted to talk with his mommy. He was not allowed to talk to he wasn't allowed to talk to any family members his entire time at county jail up until after he confessed. Maybe he just wanted to talk to his mom. Next reason, he was threatened with the death penalty. That's a pretty good reason. Next reason, enhanced interrogation techniques. These work. Vsauce has a video about it. No one would believe him, so what's the point? Might as well confess to it if everyone already believes it. Next reason, to not have to relive the trauma. If he didn't, in fact, kill his girls, why would he want to sit through a trial day in, day out, and have to go through all the evidence with his lawyers day in, day out for weeks, possibly even years? Why would he want to relive all that? Next reason, to save years of work, both for himself, potentially, but probably more likely years of work for his lawyers. All evidence shows that he's an extremely agreeable person. This is consistent with his character. And now, second to last, to spare everyone pain. This is the reason he cited many times. He doesn't want everyone else to have to relive the trauma over and over and over again during a trial process. And the last one, he is coping with the immense guilt associated with being the reason that his entire family is dead. He feels as though if he takes responsibility for something he didn't do, that will make him feel better inside because he was the reason his girls are dead. He was the reason that Shanann is dead. It doesn't matter that he's not the physical cause of the girls' deaths. He is the indirect cause. He feels immensely guilty for that. And so taking the fall for Shanann is his way of coping with that guilt. So, if you don't like any of these reasons, that's fine, but these are a lot of reasons for why he might have confessed to something he didn't do. There's not just the one. So, next thing we're going to talk about before our time is up is the psychological profiles of Familicide perpetrators. The first one is characterized by revenge, feelings of revenge for usually the spouse. Third one is suicide. The Familicide perpetrator wants to die. The second one, need for control. This person is a very controlling person, oftentimes a very patriarchal figure. And the next one, immortality. They feel as if everything it's the end of the world, and the best way to proceed is to kill everyone. They have difficulty differentiating themselves from their children, so they see a situation where everything is ending, the world is ending, so they pull the plug. And this is their response. They want everyone to be immortalized the way they are in their wealth. They don't want everyone to have to experience poverty. Death is better than poverty. So those are the 4 archetypes of Familicide perpetrators. So now let's look at some of the character traits associated with Familicide perpetrators. Sexual jealousy. I'm not going to have time, am I? Suicidality. Strong need for control. Deathly afraid of financial ruin. History of abusive behavior. anger towards infidelity, psychosis, starving for love and sex, overwhelmed with hardship, and obsessed with confirming infidelity. These are the character traits most commonly associated with familicide. These also happen to be the character traits oftentimes associated with maternal filicide. Let's read those again. Obsessed with confirming infidelity. Who does this sound like? Overwhelmed with hardship. Who does this sound like? Starving for love and sex. Who does this sound like? Psychosis. This doesn't sound like anyone. Anger towards infidelity. Who does that sound like? History of abusive behavior. Who does that sound like? Deathly afraid of financial ruin. Who does that sound like? Strong need for control. Who does that sound like? Suicidality. Who does that sound like? Sexual jealousy. Who does that sound like? Now, why do I have a timer going off 6 minutes after I start the video? It's a very good question. It's because that length of time, 6 minutes, not 7 minutes, not 17 minutes, not 20 minutes, not half an hour, not 2 hours, but 6 minutes is the amount of time that the investigators, Tammy Lee and Agent Graham Coder, spent challenging Chris Watts on his first confession. 6 minutes. And then they let him go. Didn't press him on it further. They let him go. What Agent Graham Coder said was, and I quote, "And another thing that doesn't make sense is, well, I don't know. Walk me through it again."